Hey, what's up everybody? It's Jack Mini Trades back again with another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at a piece of gear that has really helped me out so much in making these videos, of course. That is going to be the Atomos Ninja 5 Plus. So this is designed specifically for filmmakers and content creators to use with their mirrorless cinema cameras, but that's not all. So another amazing use case that I found for this is replacing your annoying and inconsistent screen recorder for PC or Mac. This is definitely something that will dramatically simplify your screen recording workflow, whether you're a gamer or you just want to show your audience something on your computer screen with professional high quality audio. This device is absolutely the one for you. So even if you aren't interested in the camera capabilities of this device, I still think that you'll find a lot of value in it regardless. So before we get started, definitely make sure to remember to smash that like button and to subscribe to the channel, and let's get straight into it. So this is a monitor slash recorder made by the company Atomos. They've been producing high quality monitors and recorders for over a decade, and they're some of the most high quality and highly praised external monitors for professionals and prosumers alike. The Ninja 5 Plus takes that legacy and expands on it, giving us a truly outstanding monitor and recorder experience at a reasonable price. It builds on the already great Atomos Ninja 5 with a next generation Atom I C3 chip, which is able to record at a higher frame rate with larger frame sizes and supports more cameras than ever before. This monitor also supports the external recording of up to 8K Apple ProRes RAW. It also supports Apple ProRes recording, Avid DNX HD/HR, and HEVC H.265. If your computer supports it like a Mac, I was able to actually get this for free, although if you don't have a Mac, you have to pay for a license through Atomos, and either way you're going to have to activate the codecs to be able to use it on the actual Ninja 5 Plus when you get it, but that's just something to be aware of. So further, with the Atomos Ninja Connect, or the Atom XCast, you can even introduce more features and functionality like Wi-Fi, 10 gigabit Ethernet, and you can use these things to allow streaming on your favorite platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Further, you can even use the Atomos Connect to connect with other Atomos Ninja recorders setups and control multiple cameras and sync them to significantly simplify your complex multicam shoots with wireless timecode and support for 12 gig SDI. So with Atom XCast, you can enable live multicam switching features with the press of just a few buttons to make multicam streaming a breeze. No matter how you plan to use this system, it'll provide you with meaningful improvements to your workflow. Unfortunately, I don't actually have any of these extras to show you, but I've seen extraordinarily well done videos on YouTube by content creators like Gerald Undone, so if you want to learn more about those extra features, I would highly recommend checking their channels out and giving them a sub, as well as they do a lot of really great work checking out all of the features of these types of products in extreme detail. But back to the Ninja 5 Plus. This product is extremely well presented and engineered, from the packaging of the device to the device itself. It all looks and feels extremely high quality. The device alone retails for about $7.99, which is pretty high, so I was able to actually find an outstanding deal on Amazon, which I will leave a link to down in the description below, which gives you the Atomos Ninja 5 Plus recorder, as well as the Atomos 5-inch accessory kit, which is worth over $250 by itself, all for just the price of $5.99. So if you're interested in picking up one of these, I would highly recommend going ahead and using that link to pick up that amazing deal, since you're going to be saving quite a lot of money, and it comes with a lot of accessories that you would really want to have, like NPF batteries, a shield for when you're using it outside so that way the sun doesn't wash out your display, and a couple of other nice features, plus a couple of hard shell carrying cases, so who wouldn't want that? But before we get too deep into this, I have to mention that the Atomos Ninja 5 and Ninja 5 Plus, they are both recorder monitors, so if you don't have any need for recording, or you don't care about ProRes RAW, I think that you would probably be better off going with something like the Atomos Shinobi series of products, considering that they're just a monitor and they don't have any of the recording functionality, and as such, they're going to be a little bit cheaper perhaps. But with that being said, I gotta say that this provides a lot of value to you, considering that it allows you to record in ProRes RAW with no recording limit, as long as you have enough drive space to allow for you to record for an indefinite period of time. So speaking of drives, the Atomos Ninja 5 Plus takes any 2.5-inch SATA style SSDs, although I have seen people use adapters, such as a thing called the Lunchbox, which allows you to adapt something like the Samsung T5 or T7 drives to work, even though they are USB-C connectivity. But Either way, it's really great because you can use any of these fast SDs instead of using SD cards for your cameras, which can get quite expensive, especially if you're talking about a UHS-2 256 V90 card from SanDisk. That's going to run you well over $200, and you can get a terabyte of storage for just about under $100 right now in the SATA SSD world. So you'll definitely be saving a lot of money. Obviously, it's not going to be as convenient considering that the UHS-2 memory cards are going to live inside of your camera, but you can use this to record for quite a long time and have no issues. So that's definitely something that's pretty nice that it enables you to do. The Ninja 5 Plus also has no recording limit for any of the codecs, provided that you have enough storage space. So for the cheaper mirrorless cameras that don't have any focus on video, this device is going to be a lifesaver considering that you don't have any recording limit. Although your device, of course, is still going to maintain that internal recording limit, the external recording limit will not be affected. So you can record for as long as you want if you're doing a longer interview or something like that. This will enable you to do that on those cheaper mirrorless cameras. Another thing that's really great for professionals is that if you're using a camera that doesn't have two SD card slots, you can still record both internally and externally at the same time. So that way you have a backup whether you have the dual internal slots or you don't. This will enable that. So that's a really, really great professional feature. Moving right along, this device is pretty small. It measures 15.1 centimeters by 9.2 centimeters by 3 centimeters and comes in at 360 grams or 12.7 ounces, featuring two 3/8-inch screw mounts on the top and the bottom with the area locating pins, and they come with the 1/4 screw mount adapter pre-installed, so that way it'll fit on most any of your mounting solutions straight out of the box. Although if you do want to fit it to a 3/8-inch, all you need to do is just unscrew that pre-fit adapter. The construction of the body is aluminum alloy with an ABS backplate, and it does have a fan built in to help keep the system cool, although one thing to note is that it does get quite loud if you're leaving the fan on the maximum setting, but if you leave it on auto, it's pretty quiet, and I never hear the fans come through, even though I have a shotgun mic mounted to my FX3 top handle pretty close to it. So that's definitely something that's nice. But if you do have a more sensitive mic or something that's not as directionless as a shotgun, you may want to be aware of that. The energy requirements for the Ninja 5 Plus are an input voltage between 5.8 and 7.2 volts with an operating power between 10 and 22 watts. It takes NPF L-series batteries or the included battery eliminator, which adapts NPF to a DC barrel connection. So either way it will work. Also, if you have a V-mount battery, you can adapt that straight to work with the battery eliminator that comes in the box. Regarding the display, it's a 5.2-inch diagonal 1080p display with 423 ppi for the PPI Patrol. It's calibrated to Rec 709 with full IPS touchscreen, excellent off-axis viewing. The panel is also capable of displaying 10-bit color and attaining a peak brightness of 1000 nits, so that's going to be great for any recording scenario, even if you're outside and you don't have access to that wind shade that, again, does come with the bundle that I'll have linked down below. It can record up to 4K at 120 FPS or 8K at 30 FPS in ProRes RAW, with a bit depth of up to 12 bits for the RAW or 8 to 10 bits for your other codecs, with 24-bit 48 kilohertz audio, and have that over up to 8 channels over HDMI or up to 12 channels over SDI with input monitoring. It also has a time code embedded with the HDMI and SDI inputs, so that's another great thing if you're going to be using this with multiple cameras. This supports timecode, so if you know how to use it and it's something that's important to you, this has it. For monitoring features, you get everything that you could possibly ask for your creative work, including waveform, RGB parade, vector scope, 1 and 2 times zoom for focus assist, focus peaking with the option for black and white so that way you can have even faster focus acquisition. It has false color, zebras. You can also isolate the blue channel, which allows you to see the noise in your film really easily. You also have frame guides for common aspect ratios like 2.4 to 1, 2.35 to 1, 1.9 to 1, 1.85 to 1, and 4:3. You also have social media frame guides, which are in the aspect ratios of 9:16, 1 to 1, 1.9 to 1, and 4:5. You also have safe areas that you can mark out on your screen, grid markers, and you have anamorphic descrease options for 1.25x, 1.33x, 1.5x, 1.8x, and 2x. You can also flip the screen vertically so that way you can mirror the monitor upside down. So that we can use the monitor upside down. The Ninja also comes with a 1-year warranty and can be instantly extended up to 3 years with a registration on the My Atomos site. So definitely make sure that you do that if you pick this monitor up. Although it's a really great product with tons of pro level features, there are a couple of things that I don't like so much. So let's get straight into those. So starting off, the Ninja can get extremely hot when it's recording for a long time. If you use this product for over an hour with a standard fan profile, as in not set to high, the screen and body will get quite hot to the touch, and you're definitely not going to want to be touching them for an extended period of time, as they will start to hurt quite a bit. But if you have a good monitor mount or something like that, you don't really have to worry about that so much, but it is something to be aware of. The Ninja 5 Plus also does not include a battery, HDMI cable, or SSD, all of which you're actually going to need to use this product. You're going to need to use the battery eliminator, which does come with the device, but that battery eliminator only allows you to plug it into a wall, which is not going to be really useful if you're going to be taking this on any shoots, considering that you don't always have access to a wall mount. So if you don't have a V-mount or something like that to provide continuous power, you're definitely going to need to get some NPF batteries. So like I said, that's another reason why I would really recommend you guys, if you do want to get this, to pick it up through the link down below, as you'll get 2 NPF batteries included with that bundle for the price of, again, $5.99. And again, without an HDMI cable, you're not even going to be able to see anything that this monitor outputs, so you're going to need to account for the cost of the HDMI cable as well as the SSD, as well as any batteries that you may want to choose, in addition to purchasing this. Another thing that the SSD is going to be important for is, even if you don't care about recording to your external monitor, you are going to need an SSD to update it to the latest firmware, and you're also going to need an SSD to allow you to access any of the codecs like ProRes RAW or H.265. They need to be activated first before you're actually able to use them. So definitely make sure that you factor in the cost of an SSD into your expenses for this purchase. And beyond that, SATA is not a connection that's common for external use, considering that it's generally reserved for internal drives on Windows computers and things like that. So you're going to need to get a USB to SATA adapter. Atomos sells one that's USB-C straight off the bat, but it is quite expensive. I think it's about $80. But you can get one that's a lot cheaper, like I have linked down below, for just under $10. And that'll give you a USB 3.0 connection. It's USB-A, but you can of course adapt it to USB-C using a hub or something like that if your computer needs USB-C. So the last thing that I really don't like, I had sort of alluded to before, but that's that the codecs like ProRes RAW and HEVC and some of the other features like the onion skin need to be activated before you can use them with your Ninja 5 Plus. So you need to have the SSD in order to be able to do that. So it's not the end of the world. It's pretty fast and pretty seamless. You just follow the instructions on the Atomos website, but it is something that you just need to keep aware of when you are making your purchase decision for this. So although those are some major annoyances for me, this device makes a huge difference in my life filmmaking projects. For clients, it's definitely something that I can highly recommend, since it works with so many cameras and it offers all of the monitoring functionality that you could ever ask for. Although for me, with the Sony FX3, there's a lot of these features built straight in, like peaking, histograms. It also allows you to use false color, which makes it extremely easy to expose for your scene. With the Atomos Ninja 5, you can really easily load up to 9 LUTs onto the device and switch between them to monitor your camera's display, so that we can get a better idea what your recording actually looks like before you even bring it into post. So that's something that I really, really enjoy. And if you're an anamorphic lens user, this has anamorphic D-squeeze built straight in. Although various cameras like the FX3 do have support for anamorphic D-squeeze, they can be kind of annoying and they may not work in all modes, where if you use the external monitor, you can just de-squeeze straight away. You don't have to worry about what mode you're in. The other great thing is that if you're a Final Cut Pro user, ProRes RAW output allows you to change the white balance and ISO in post, making lossless changes as if you were still filming, which is really a groundbreaking feature for me. Unfortunately, DaVinci Resolve doesn't currently support ProRes RAW and probably won't support ProRes RAW, so you are going to need to have another program to be able to convert those files from ProRes RAW into Cinema DNG if you plan to do your entire workflow and edit in Resolve. Or you can just do like me and have Final Cut Pro 10 and edit the raw parts in Final Cut Pro 10, output them into ProRes 4444XQ, and then edit that raw file in Resolve. But if you're not a Final Cut Pro user or you can't afford it, Atomos is giving away free copies of the Assimilate software, which is a software that allows you to transform your codecs from one to another. Additionally, if you're a Mac user, you can use Compressor, and that will allow you to transcode your files from ProRes RAW to ProRes 4444XQ. And those are raw files that DaVinci Resolve can read, although their setup is a little bit confusing and I haven't quite been able to work it out entirely, but that is an option for you if you choose to go with that. Regardless though, I think that for any professional looking for an extremely versatile recorder/monitor, this is it. The display is kind of small at 5 inches, but considering that all of the monitors built into mirrorless cameras are going to be smaller than that, this is nothing to really complain about. It also has a relatively light weight, so you're not going to be adding a ton of bulk to your system, and it allows you to record anything from, like I said, raw output on your camera to even gameplay on your gaming computer. If you're a live streamer or Twitch streamer, this is also going to be something that's great for you, and I think it offers tons of value, whether, like I said, you're a filmmaker or you're just somebody wanting to do gaming recording. So with that being said, thank you guys for checking out this video, and definitely consider liking this video, commenting, sharing it with your friends, and of course subscribing for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.